Oh, there we go. What is good, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Renegade Roundtable podcast here. I am Jeffrey Kirby. As always, each and every week, we're joined by Jared. Jared, how in the hell are you?
Another week, working week, Combine started today.
You know what? You can see it, right? Got it
Yep.
right there.
Yep.
Got it right there. Combine, like you said, Combine was today. Today was defensive linemen and linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, in terms of what I mostly focus on when it comes to the draft, I mostly just focus on the first round when it comes to my deep coverage. Wasn't really a whole lot of action. So much action that I fell asleep like a jackass. But other than that, it was we already got our comment here. First and foremost, what's the deal with Aaron Rodgers? Glad you asked, because me and Jared were just talking about this as the show began, or as we were getting ready to come on. Here's what's going to happen. I've come to the conclusion. I got a genie ball. I don't know if that's the way you're supposed to say it, but I'm saying it anyway. I got one of those glass genie balls, and
the Magic 8 Ball.
The Magic 8 Ball. And I'm a mind reader. I know the future, and here's what's going to happen. The Steelers are going to have 4 quarterbacks on their team this year. They're going to have 4 quarterbacks on the roster. Their starting quarterback is going to be Russell Wilson. The backup quarterback is going to be Aaron Rodgers. The third quarterback is going to be Daniel Jones. And then the fourth quarterback is going to be who we drafted with the 21st pick, and it's going to be Jackson Dart.
It's never going to happen, but it's okay. It's never going to happen.
Jared thought it was the greatest idea ever.
No. But yeah, we were talking about the quarterback situation as usual as the days get closer to free agency and, of course, the draft. We're trying to be realistic. Let's say, what if we don't get Justin Fields? Who would be next in line as the quarterback? And we're going to ask, Kirby here, would you rather have Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers? That's what we're getting to right here.
If I had to choose out of that, I think I'd rather choose Russell Wilson. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you're at this point, you're kind of choosing between 2 old yellers at this point. You're dealing with the old canine cop who's like 16 years old. At one point in time in his prime, he was a very, very, very good, important part of the police department, and now he's just old and fragile. And the other one, I don't really have a description. You have a Shih Tzu that was once very, very fun, and now it's just a pain in the ass. It can't do much. That's him. Mm-hmm. That's Russell Wilson. So I would prefer to have Russell Wilson if I had to choose out of those two, just because there's at least still something in terms of being able to escape, even though it's not much at all. There's at least something. Aaron Rodgers gives you absolutely nothing. I think he just needs to hang it up.
Agreed. 100%.
I think he needs to go and start his own ayahuasca, whatever bullshit thing. He needs to go start his own.
Start a podcast like everyone else.
Yeah, well, he can start going back on Pat McAfee again. But yeah, if you had asked me out of that, I'm not happy at all. Here's the thing about, and I see your guys' comments. We will get to them here in a sec. The thing is with the quarterbacks and how the organization is feeling about these quarterbacks. The fans, it seems, majority of us would prefer to have Justin Fields if we're looking at the realistic options. I personally do not think that Matt Stafford is a realistic option. I don't see that happening. I just don't.
Unfortunately.
Even if that was a realistic move, I don't we're not a quarterback away team. So that move, I don't think necessarily would make as much sense. Now, if you were, say, a quarterback away, then yes, I would say go all in, go for it. But there's holes on this team that just we're not there. We're not there. So you look at it and say, okay, do you go with the old veteran again and Russell Wilson, or do you go with the young guy, Justin Fields, and still think there's the slight hope that he could be a franchise quarterback? Here's how I think the franchise looks at it. The fans want Justin Fields. I think there's a decent amount of players that would prefer Justin Fields. I think a lot of people in the organization would prefer Justin Fields. But I think it's Mike Tomlin and Art Rooney who want Russell Wilson.
I just don't know what you see. I get it. We have two sample sizes, but everyone prefers the younger guy. Go with Justin Fields. He was winning. Now I understand. Maybe I think his arm. I think that's what everyone was probably questioning, his passing. Precision. Because Russell Wilson was making some good throws, but then that bad stretch happened. But I prefer. Everyone prefers Justin Fields. I would hope this happens. I pray it happens. Because let's say Justin Fields signs somewhere else, I think it's a little bit panic, I would say, of what the team's going to do.
Do I think that either move is a quote-unquote great move? No. However, here's my question, though, when it comes to Russell Wilson. There were little rumblings coming out about Russell Wilson and Arthur Smith having a little bit of an issue, whatever, blah, blah. First and foremost, I'd like to know where that came from in terms of who leaked that out, because that makes a difference. Whether it was Russell Wilson's camp trying to put that out to make it so the pressure's off on him a little bit, and that can possibly raise his value and say, hey, not all this was on him, blah, blah, blah. Or was it someone within the organization? What's the case? Because I understand if you're Arthur Smith, if you don't necessarily want Justin Fields changing stuff at the line of scrimmage all that much. I could maybe. Russell Wilson's a veteran. He's been in the league. He's seen it all. He's done it all. He's someone that if he sees something, I still trust that for him to make audibles at the line of scrimmage. I think he has the ability. He's earned the right in the NFL to be able to do that. So, and I think that's something that needs to be put into perspective is if he's not able to do that and he sees that, oh shit, we're getting ready to run to the left, but the box is 7-8 deep. And we know that our offensive line is not the greatest right now in terms of run game. Yeah, maybe let's audible into something. But if he doesn't have that chance to, if he's not given the green light to go ahead and do that, well, then you kind of see what happened in the last 5 weeks of the season. You run because there were times where you're running the football and it's like, what the fuck are we doing here? Why are we running the way? Like, why are we running in certain formations and against certain defenses when you know that they're just stacking the box? And when you're a defensive coordinator, you know that the Steelers are going to want to run the football. So it's okay. And our offense last year with Russell Wilson was very simple. It's either run the football or it was a go route. It was one of those two. So it's okay. Make sure you don't get beat deep, and we're gonna stop the run. That was it.
That's the whole game plan when Russ came in, pretty much. So,
and outside of that, when George Pickens was out, who the hell scared you?
No one.
All right, let's get to some of these comments. TJ Black here says James pick, top 5 pick, Darius Alexander, 4th round is happening. I don't know. Darius Alexander, he might be in the conversation where he might be a top two round pick. And James Pierce, he did have himself a day at the combine. We have met with a lot of top 10 talent. Well, that might be subjective on how you want to look at things. I have the list here, and one of the guys he did they did talk to is quarterback Quinn Ewers. So that's interesting in the fact that they are looking at that they're meeting with the quarterback. Now, I don't think it's necessarily a huge deal because
was it just him or was it multiple?
Huh?
They just reported
it was just him.
Okay.
So at the and even you gotta do your due diligence. To me, this isn't something where I'm gonna say, "Oh shit, here we go." Are we really good? No, they're doing due diligence. They're meeting with a couple running backs. They're meeting with Ashton Jency. They're meeting with Ollie Gordon. They're meeting with a shit ton of tight ends. They're also meeting a crap ton of defensive linemen. Don't blame them there whatsoever. Blame it or seeing a couple edge rushers, linebackers. They're seeing a decent amount, and then corners.
Was it a few? I saw Will Johnson was.
Johnson, Jahdae Barron is on there. Benjamin Morrison from Notre Dame's on there. And then safeties, you had a couple. The name that sticks out, two names that stick out of me are Jalen Reed from Penn State and Xavier Watts from Notre Dame. Those are two guys that intrigued me a little bit. So that's some of the guys that they met with at the Combine. And let's get to some more of these comments here. Oh, yeah, by the way, I see you guys on Facebook, too. Go fuck yourselves. Shout out to Kyle and shout out to Dan. We are about to give Russ a big bag instead of the cheap deal with Justin, fuck you, Tomlin.
I hope not. I really hope not.
And then Derpy says, I blame Jared if we get Russell Wilson.
Great. That's fine. Sure. That means we get a top 10 pick.
Or that means we'll somehow go 9-8 and we'll get the 7th pick again. Because, that's just what happens.
Listen, one of these years, we're just going to be bad. We're just waiting for it. It's inevitable. Just want it to happen. Everyone don't want it to happen, but you just want to.
Like, the only thing Russ has is that he's a former Super Bowl champ. It's funny because everyone again wants Justin over Russ, and Tomlin's ego is too bitter to let a mobile quarterback start in this offense. Just hurry, FML. And then he says Justin is a better quarterback to help the run game with his legs. That part, I agree with that, and we saw it. There were the Vegas game that I was at. Yeah. He didn't do shit with his arm. I think he only threw it for like 115 yards. But he did a lot with his legs, and the run game did something, and then, defense helped you out as well. Yep. But there is that aspect of, yes, it's nice to have the run game where if you get to a 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 situation, or even a 3rd and long, you don't feel like you're fully out of it because you know that you have the escapability and the speed in your quarterback. I agree with that. And like I said, if I had to choose out of the realistic options, Justin Fields would be my number one.
Oh,
but like TJ says, it seems like the ego of Mike Tomlin. Now, this will be a huge thing. If they go out and sign Justin Fields, I'll say, hey, okay. We're on the right track of doing something in terms of trying to get modern.
Yep.
If we go out and get Russell Wilson, I'm just going to hate my life.
Sounds about right to me. That means I hope for a top 10 pick.
And what you'll actually get is the 19th pick.
That's what will happen. Oh, man. You just want your franchise guy. That's what we want. Everyone wants to, their franchise quarterback.
I mean, yeah, obviously, yes, everyone does. And
don't want to keep doing this revolving door every year of getting a quarterback.
Yeah, we don't want to look like the Cleveland Browns. Which, by the way, Myles Garrett doubled down and said, I am not signing an extension. Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Oh, you said that? I didn't see it.
Yeah, he doubled down and said that he is not signing an extension with the Cleveland Browns. The last time I heard a team said, I am not going to the Cleveland Browns, they gave him $230 million guaranteed, and it sucked ass. But, yeah, if you're Andrew Berry, don't be stubborn. Do not be stubborn. If you were him,
you're going to get a first-round pick for him.
Oh, you're getting a king's ransom.
Literally. They talked about some teams who can get for him. Commanders, a great spot for him. A great spot for him.
Commanders, Detroit. Now, you got to manage the caps. You got to manage the cap too. I haven't done that digging into all that, but there are certain teams.
Dallas, Minnesota could be another team. There's some teams out there.
Houston's
another. Houston would be nice for him. I think if I had to predict early of where he would go, I think it's either the Commanders or maybe the Texans. I like.
And either of those teams make sense in terms of the fact that, especially Washington, because their quarterbacks are going into their second year of a rookie contract, it's the time to make that kind of move.
Yep. And look, you made the NFC Championship game first year too. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Justin actually looked like a future quarterback for us. Yes, the only issue is that he had a bad center snaps. Other than that, he was our whole offense before Russ came in.
And you got to realize it was Zach Frazier was a rookie, first year, as our center for us, but did really well as the games got, more reps. The reps came down. Frazier, we have our center for the future, which is a great thing. I want to talk about a little bit the O-line that actually situated a little bit. I'm sure you saw what Omar Khan said finally, that Mr. Broderick Jones specifically will be a left tackle for the future here. And then Fatan will probably be the right, which I hope it stays that way.
Yeah, because we need some continuity within this offensive line.
Because right now, who's going to call it? James Daniels, a free agent. He's probably not coming back. It's probably Mason McCormick will be starting at that guard position.
Mm-hmm. Let's not forget, too, that if I'm not mistaken, Isaac Seumalo's on his last year of his deal as well. Mm-hmm. So that's something that's got to be monitored throughout as we get into the season is what are they going to do with him?
Mm-hmm. So it's just we need something, like I said, stability. We need to, have the O-line set for whoever our next quarterback is. Because it's good. It's like I said, it takes time to gel again once the OTAs and that camp starts again.
I agree 100%. Najee was looking like a top running back last year. Yes, GP wasn't thriving, but we were scoring.
That was another conversation. They were talking to Najee's agents, trying to re-sign him back. Personally, how I feel about it, if they don't sign him back, I'm not that hurt about it. That's just me. If I would like to have him back, but they said they're going to resign Jalen Warren back. They said they're going to, his tender, they're going to do that. So we have him at least. I've been seeing some mocks for drafting running backs, which has been out of the crazy.
We saw one. What was it last week or something? Last week or 2 weeks ago, where they had us drafting Ashton Genty,
which I don't think he gets past Dallas. I just don't think he gets past Dallas. I really don't think it'll happen, but you never know. I could be wrong.
By the way, I need to get off topic for 2 seconds.
Oh boy,
you know where I'm going with this. I have something for you.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
There's a big fat L from your that your Magic took. There's a big plate of L's. A 40-point ass whooping that the Cavs put on the Magic.
Yep, I know.
Without Darius Garland, by the way.
I understand. And
with Donovan Mitchell not doing much.
I could say some things too, but it's okay. Well, it is what it is. I'm glad your team actually traded for somebody. I wish my team would have done something.
Shout DeAndre Hunter, yes sir.
DeAndre Hunter is Struess was on started off banging threes out of nowhere. A good game for him.
He was 6 for 9, nice, and 5 for 7 from 3.
Yeah, but you guys look. I can admit, my losses.
Shout out Ty Jerome.
I could admit my losses, but you guys look really good. I think you guys play Boston tomorrow, that's a good game. We'll see. I'm not gonna go that far. We'll see what happens.
We're coming.
I got to see a little more. You guys are beating everybody by a lot. It's not just us. You guys been. I saw you beat the Knicks by like 30 the other night, almost 40, and then you beat. I forgot who it was. You beat a couple good teams, but your team, you guys are looking really good. I hope you keep this energy. Same thing when you get into the playoffs. I hope so. We'll see what happens, but we
shall see. All right, back to we got some more comments here. TJ here says, I saw a report that Pittsburgh was putting out ideas of Troy at guard. Why? What the fuck? I hate Pat Meyer. Why move these guys to their best position? I just think, and I've kind of flip-flopped on this conversation in terms of position flexibility. Mm-hmm. It's nice to have position flexibility, but it's a different story when you've never played it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to move guys versus
No, like I don't know what's some of those reports. Like I said a little earlier, Fatan will play the right tackle most likely. Mason McCormick had to play some games this year. He was pretty good at his spot in the guard, the right guard spot, especially against the run. But he had some struggles, but he was a rookie. I think he did pretty well. Did all right, average, you would think, for his rookie season, taking over James Daniels' spot.
Yeah, he was fine, and it was expected originally that it was going to be this year he takes over, but then that kind of got started early, with Mason or with James Daniels, his injury and all this and that. But in terms of that whole Troy Fatanu thing, I don't really. Yeah, like you said, it's not going to happen, but that would be a Steeler move to do, and if that would just irk. That would irritate me. How would y'all feel about going after Jair Alexander from Green Bay, the guard in LA, or Jonathan Allen? Those are some good trade pieces that could help. Jair Alexander, I'd be intrigued by.
The things that I'm just curious about is what we're giving. You know me, man. What are we giving up? He wouldn't be like Jair Alexander. He wouldn't be like giving up a first-round pick, or even a second-round pick. I don't see that. Jonathan Allen is interesting. I would like that, but I think he would cost a little bit more. And if you're going to go after a defensive tackle, let it be in this draft where this draft class is deep at the defensive tackle position. I fully am anticipating us maybe in the second round going after a defensive tackle. In my opinion, I don't necessarily think there's a full-on need to go and get one in the first round. Now, granted, I also want a receiver from this college, but that's a different story. But not necessarily also because of that, because like I said, the depth, you can go into the later round and get good football players at that position in this draft. The preferred positions, like we talked about earlier, I think we should get a wide receiver round 1. That's what I'm thinking as of this moment. I would love to get a wide receiver round 1 to have, like I said, I would love it. Emeka Buka from the great state of Ohio. I would love to have
from the world famous national champion Ohio State Buckeyes.
If he's not there, you got Matthew Golden. You got the other guy? I can't forget his name. I think Luther Burden. Luther
Burden.
Another one. There's no way McMillan will fall down there. If he does, God, I would love to have him at 21, but it's not going to happen. if there's not any good, like, what's the threshold, the name cutoff for a wide receiver in round one? Would you say? If there's not a guy that you like when it comes to our pick?
I would say for the wide receivers, either Elegant Manor from Stanford, or Trey Harris. Probably that's probably like a cutoff kind of deal. I think that's kind of because Ted McMillan's going to go, Luther Burden's going to go, Emeka Buka more than likely is going to go, Matthew Golden more than likely is going to go, and I think that's kind of going to be the cutoff. I'm not necessarily a big Trey Harris is okay, A.O. Manor's good, but I think there's a big medical issue with him on his knee. But and then Papa Sanchez says, "You leave my Knicks out of this." Haha.
Oh, Danny. Yeah, well,
if Emeka Buka has a big combine, we are not getting him. I hope he sits out.
I don't think he's going to sit out.
And then the guard is Jonah Jackson, by the way. Yeah, I know who he was. It's just, to me, right now for this year, I don't necessarily think that it's a move that they're going to make, nor do I think they should make. Because of, well, yes, if you wanted to say, hey, maybe that could be someone that could, you get someone better for Mason McCormick. Yes, I could get that, but at the same time, I think I would, if we're going to spend draft capital on someone, I'd rather it be on someone else, in my opinion.
Yeah. The best news is no more Dan Moore. That's the best news I could say right now. Thank God.
Don't worry, Steve. Don't worry, Papa Sanchez. I'm still getting you that Dan Moore jersey. Expect that in the mail in a couple weeks.
Now
we'll get it framed for you.
Sign him as a backup. I guess my dad would flip out if he still signed them back.
Hashtag sign Dan Moore.
Oh my gosh. But like I said, I would like a receiver. Defensive line would also be huge, depending who's there at 20. There's just some big names out there. Like, who would you take over Emeka Buka for a defensive tackle that's still there?
I mean, that's realistic. Really? I mean, obviously, guys like Mason Graham's going to be gone.
Yep.
Walter Nolan's going to be gone. A
lot of people are talking about Mr. Kenneth Grant from Michigan.
He's intriguing. And you know what? He's a guy that you plop his big ass in the middle of that defense to stuff up some room, take a couple bodies up, stuff the run, make opportunities for your linebackers. That's where he's and even though he's from that school up north, he is a good football player. I like him a lot.
It's a tough decision.
TJ says, "What tomorrow? Tomorrow is defensive backs and tight ends."
Tight ends tomorrow.
I feel like Mike Green and Abdul Carter's stocks have dropped due to their issues. Abdul Carter's
no way.
If we're talking about him dropping, it's not. It might drop from he's going number 1 to like number 4 or something. Because while yes, there is a medical concern on him, I think that there are teams that still
will take him at 1.
Next week. Which, by the way, hype up real quick. Next week, our mock draft show, the Renegade Roundtable mock draft 1.0, where we're gonna have me, Jared, and then our two guys, Hunter and Herb. Who, by the way, Herb is right there in the combine, or he's at the combine. He's not in the combine. He's not going to, but he is at the combine right now as we speak. We're actually gonna have him on this week, but he's at the combine. But yeah, we got that going. And I guarantee you there will still be guys that will be mocking him going number 1. We have a mock draft here in a couple of minutes we're going to look at. There's a good chance he's still going to go number 1.
Yep.
I just think the talent is there. Mike Green is interesting because his stock has started to rise, and I understand why. I love Mike Green. He was someone that when I turned on the tape, you're like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
But
we'll see what happens. We're getting closer. Almost free agency, almost less than 2 weeks. Almost March 10th. It's almost March.
a couple weeks before my birthday.
Yeah, both of our birthdays in March.
Pisces, hashtag Pisces gang.
But so we'll see what happens. Like I said, I think the wide receivers. I think it's the most important right now. Then defensive line, and then from there you can go. You can go corner. You can go running back, maybe. Depending on what happens with Najee is the question. Honestly, that's what it is right there.
Yeah,
because if they don't sign him, then I think they go running back in like I think they'll still go running back in the mid rounds anyway, but like third round was what I'm talking about if they don't sign him.
Wouldn't be opposed to that.
So
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Who? I don't know. But
I do know something that it's time for.
Yep.
Our weekly mock draft that we go and take a look at. This week it is good old Mel Kiper.
All right, is he going to piss me off today?
I don't know. We shall see. All right, start off with the first overall pick. And there you go, Abdul Carter.
No surprise.
There you go. We've talked about this ad nauseum, so we shall see. Number two.
Starts.
Yeah.
That's where it starts.
See, this is interesting, this whole Cam Ward going number two. Now, at this point, this is just a matter of who do you prefer between Cam Ward and Shedeur. The way that I've been hearing things within Cleveland, Shedeur has gotten a lot more of the talk.
Really?
Than Cam Ward, which, in my personal opinion, if I had to choose, if I was the Cleveland Browns in this pick, I would prefer Shedeur over Cam because I personally think Cam Ward's a bust waiting to happen, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think Shedeur is the greatest, but I think he's better than Cam Ward, in my opinion.
More upside, you would say, or just?
I think his floor is higher. Cam Ward has upside like crazy, but I just think it's his floor and ceiling is
way more. Okay, like I get you.
Did y'all see the Cam Ward Big Ben comp tweet? I lost my shit. No, I did not see it.
No.
Glad I did it.
What did he say? Now I want to know. Type it in here if you know what he said.
Number 3, the New York Giants going after Travis Hunter. So this is the first mock that we have seen where they don't go after a quarterback, which brings up the conversation. Are they going to go after Matthew Stafford? Now, if you're the Giants, I don't think that's a team that I've heard that the Giants and the Raiders are two teams that are interested, which, I mean, I get, but if you're Matthew Stafford, don't know if I want that either. Being honest.
You'd rather stay where you are.
But, hey, if you do have the anticipation of going after a quarterback, then yes, this makes total sense. Play him as a corner where you could get you have a package for him at wide receiver.
If this scenario happens, which I think this might happen, it might. I don't know. I think Sam Darnold goes to the Giants. I think that's if they don't draft a quarterback at 3, which would be shocking. Imagine that 2 different New York teams that Sam Darnold goes to, same building.
Okay. By the way, so DJ here, he just he tweeted me the tweet.
Okay.
It was PFF.
PFF.
It was PFF that tweeted this.
I'm like, I can't really. You got to send it to me. I'll look
Here,
at it.
I will send it over to you right now. Here's sir. Where are you at?
That is crazy.
Oh, where the hell are you at? There you are. All right, I just sent it to you in your DMs.
Yep.
But while he's talking about that, it makes sense in a way that it depends on what you're going with your quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That's where this whole thing goes. TJ says I almost blocked them for that tweet.
That's hilarious.
Let's see some of these comments. I don't know about that. Cam Ward has mobile ability. The disrespect is real. I think Russell Wilson is a better comp. Don't agree with that take. Big Ben was built different.
Yeah.
Disrespectful. Yeah, no. This is a crazy comp when Jordan Love is readily available. He gonna diddle strippers too. So yeah, there's that for you.
That's crazy. Anyways, back what I was saying about this pick. Yeah, if the Giants go with not a quarterback here, I think they get somebody in free agency, of course. They have to. They're not going to run out Tommy Cutlets out there.
All right, number 4, the New England Patriots. Well,
I think this is like a lock pick right here, if you want to call it a lock for the Patriots. They could go somewhere else, but protect your future in Drake May. Can't complain.
Yeah, this is we've talked about this pick ad nauseum.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Mason Graham. We've talked about this before. They need defense. Any defensive player you put here, I'm not going to argue with. That's
they need it.
And I finally hired a GM.
Yep.
Number 6. Oh, hello.
Whoa. Top 6. Oh. Do you have a quarterback that you're signing with the Raiders?
Well, here you go. He mentions Sam Darnold, might be Justin Fields, Russell Wilson.
There's no. Yeah, take Russell Wilson. You can take him. Take him all away. Take him away. So I don't have to hear anymore.
He's signing a 5-year, $250 million deal with the Steelers.
I would instantly. Never mind. Will not say. I cannot say that.
I know where you're going.
Cannot say that. But anyways.
Shout out Aaron Hernandez.
No. All right.
Oh shit! All right, number 7. The New York Jets select Shador, which, by the way, they could go. They need quarterback. There you go. They get your quarterback.
They have to.
Number 8, the Carolina Panthers select Jalen Walker, linebacker from Georgia.
Man,
I know exactly one Carolina Panther fan. I asked him about this. He said he preferred wide receiver, which I agreed on.
I was going to say get McMillan for Bryce Young.
That's So TJ here says, "What the fuck, Genty over Sanders?"
Yeah, it's Mel Kiper.
And that is indeed true. But we have seen this a couple times, and it does make sense. However, I just think that you want to add to the confidence of your young quarterback.
Yep.
Get him a weapon. Go from there. Number 9, the New Orleans Saints select Tyler Warren. This one's interesting.
I talk about this every time a mock draft comes up. I don't know what the Saints are going to do. They need a defense too. They like you said, Cam Jordan's getting old. They need someone on the defensive line. Really bad.
They were not good at getting to the quarterback last year.
So
number 10, hello, Josh Simmons going to the Bears.
Oh.
This one's interesting. Now, if you would have mentioned someone like, I'm drawing a blank. The tackle from Texas, Kelvin Banks.
Thanks.
If you would have mentioned someone like him, all right, I understand that because I do think that there is flexibility on where teams think that they kick him into guard. I understand that because there is a need right there. However, giving up 68 sacks, again, that's not all on the offensive line. That's also not all on Caleb Williams either. But I don't necessarily think that this is a move that helps them this year, in my opinion. And I think if you're Chicago, I know you wanted to build for the future as well, but I think you kind of want to build a little something for right now too. Mm-hmm. And I just don't think this is a pick that helps you right now.
Nope.
And it's interesting that they have Josh Simmons at offensive tackle too. That's interesting. Number 11, the San Francisco 49ers select Will Johnson. And you know what? Listen, San Francisco, they get Robert Saleh back. You have a feeling they're going to go with defense. They get defense. They get arguably the best corner in the draft.
No arguments here.
Number 12.
2.
Hello.
Oh, Mel Kiper, what are you on today?
Hello.
What are you on today?
Interesting.
I know it's very, very early in the process right now. I think 2 running backs, it's very possible, but I think 1 for sure. Genty's going to go somewhere. Don't agree with this pick, by the way. They need a guard, by the way.
Tyler Booker.
Mm-hmm. They need a guard really bad.
I'm just going to go ahead and move on from that. Number 13, the Miami Dolphins go and get Armand Membu, the offensive tackle / guard from Missouri. Now, this is a pick I can agree on.
Yep.
I agree with this pick a whole lot. Number 14, the Colts go after Malachi Starks, the safety from Georgia. I understand this pick. I thought if you were going to go with someone in the secondary, you would want to go with a corner, maybe someone like a Johnny Barron, but you're not going to get I do need help in the back end of that defense, so you won't get too much of an argument out of me.
Nope.
Number 15, the Atlanta Falcons to go after Mike Green, the outside linebacker from Marshall. This pick I like a lot. It makes sense.
That's a great pick.
Yeah, it makes sense for them. They were not good at getting to the quarterback at all. They were awful.
I think this would be a hit for the Falcons for sure. They finally got someone.
They've been abusing the pass rusher position, and they finally get one.
Yep.
Number 16, the Arizona Cardinals go after Shamar Stewart, the defensive end from Texas A&M. He's someone that I believe he's a big old dude. He doesn't have the production in college, but I do think that there is potential that you can get production out of him. Someone that you could kick him inside in a 3-4. You could play him outside in a 4-3. I think he could do both, and you won't. I'm not going to argue this pick all that much.
Yeah, they need someone on defense.
Number 17, the Cincinnati Bengals are going after Mikael Williams, the outside linebacker from Georgia. Okay.
Interesting.
They go after defense. They need a defensive. They need defense bad.
Just anywhere on. Throw a dart.
Yeah, so this is a pick that you're not going to get much argument out of me. The only thing I would say is what's going on with Trey Hendrickson. If you do end up trading him, are you going to go after? I mean, although Mikael Williams, he's already gone and he's off the board. Mike Green's off the board. I think it's a little early for either of the Ohio State boys. James Pierce, I don't necessarily see the full-on fit. So that could be a little bit questionable. Well, although Mikael Williams is an edge rusher, I still question the fit a little bit.
Yep.
But that's also here nor there. Number 18, the Seattle Seahawks select Tyler Booker. Hey, in my first mock draft, if I'm not mistaken, I had the Seattle Seahawks taking a guard. I had Seattle Seahawks fans coming at me fucking crazy saying, "Oh, we're not taking no guard. You're so stupid." Oh, hey, yeah, here's another mock draft taking a guard, so go fuck yourself.
It's a great pick. The Seattle needs offensive line help.
And Tyler Booker is one of my favorite players in this draft.
I think we've been talking about this guy and this pick for a while now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kirby's just been harping on it that this pick's going to happen to be a perfect fit for Tampa.
And here you go. There you go. Number 20.
And this one as well. Another one.
Shot DJ Khaled.
Yeah, Loveland to the Broncos.
It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It makes total sense. Because you implement the three teams in that division where you can make correlations to that. Coastal Loveland to me reminds me of a poor man's Travis Kelce.
That's
well,
it.
You've gotten your ass whooped by Travis Kelce for the last decade plus. Yep. You know that there's another team within your division that wants him really bad. So why? And you have a need for it. Boom.
Yep. No arguments.
Oh boy.
It better be who I think it is.
You ready?
Yep.
With the 21st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select.
Thank God. All right, all right. I don't have to hate him anymore. Thank God. That could actually love this pick. Great pick. You know, and this happens in April. I'm going to say the same thing. Great pick.
I'll be in Pittsburgh in April for the Draft Nation's draft show.
A great pick if this happens.
And I will be ecstatic if this pick happens.
Because it'd be so huge.
Pause.
Yeah, pause, and then I'm sure they were talking about trying to extend Mr. George Pickens possibly, and it'd be just great having Emeka Buka beside him. And then Calvin Austin, a good wide receiver 3, solid. Other than that, a safe pick.
Wait, you want to extend George Pickens? In what way? Pause?
Okay. So annoying. But anyways, a great pick if this happens. No arguments.
All right. Number 22. Holy shit.
Holy cow. What about... Okay, can we go back one more pick, please? Can I take this guy instead? That's insane, though. No, the Steelers would do that, honestly, if both of them were still there.
And you know what, though? I still wouldn't be fully mad at it.
Nope.
I still wouldn't be fully mad at it because I do think that Emeka Buka is quote-unquote bust-proof, in my opinion.
The safer pick.
But I do think that McMillan's a dog.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy that he wasn't picked anywhere higher.
Number 23, the Green Bay Packers. They go after Azareye'h Thomas, the corner from Florida State. So I, at my new job, work with a Green Bay Packers fan. And we were talking one day, and I said, hey, we were talking about, good Lord, the Green Bay Packers and all that. And I was like, who do you think you guys should go after, blah, blah, blah. And he had agreed that he thought that they should go with a corner. And I said, I agree 100% because Jair Alexander is more likely gone. So in that case, that it leaves a huge hole in that defense. Yep. And there you go. You get your corner right here. So Yeah, I agree with this.
No
100%.
arguments.
Number 24, the Minnesota Vikings go after Greg Zabel, the guard / center / everything on the offensive line.
Good for him.
He says, wait, not Benjamin Morrison. No, I think that I do think that Azareye'h Thomas is better than Benjamin Morrison, in my opinion. But yeah, in terms of this pick, they're not going after their annual corner.
Yeah. Always draft every year.
Or every other year. So that means next year they will. But
Yep.
Greg Zabel was someone that at Senior Bowl, I say this every time. Senior Bowl, he was phenomenal. And
good for him.
Yeah, he was someone that was
first round now. I think
he's around consideration. Now he's getting into that later part of the first round, so he's done well for himself. Number 25, the Houston Texans going after Kelvin Banks. This right here would be great value, and it fills a need.
Oh, great pick for the Texans.
Now, would I think that they would like a receiver here? Yes. Do I think that someone like a Luther Burden is an option here? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because you're going to have Tank Dell out for the year. Stephon Diggs is a free agent, and I think that Luther Burden kind of reminds me of Stephon Diggs. Yep. So that would make sense too. But you get experience and you get protection for your quarterback. This is a steal, as what TJ here says. It is a steal, and I got no issues with that. And you get position flexibility because I think you can kick him in tackle or guard.
Yep.
Number 26, the Rams go after Josh Connerly, the offensive tackle from Oregon. Again, we've seen this pick a couple times, and I'm with it 100%. In fact, in my last mock draft I did, in my 1.0, I had this pick. So, yeah, you're not going to get an argument out of me here.
Mm-hmm.
Number 27, the Baltimore Ravens go after Nick Emenawari, the safety from South Carolina, which is someone that not everyone's going to know.
Yeah. And
they'll find a way to make him good.
Yep.
That's just simply the Baltimore Raven way.
Surprised they went, they could go somewhere else. I don't know.
The defense or the Detroit Lions go after Oladipo, the outside linebacker from UCLA. I think he's just starting to pull names out of his ass now. I agree with the fact that you want to go after someone, an edge rusher here. I just think at this point he's just pulling. He just went into a name generator and said, "Yep, here you go."
I want him.
Yeah. See, the jump to round one is a bit of a projection. No shit.
Yeah.
Number 29, the Washington Commanders go after Maxwell Harrison, the corner from Kentucky. It's another guy that is someone that he was somewhat recently starting to become on my radar in terms of corners. I was like, okay, you might have to we're gonna have to start looking into, because you see him in a mock draft here or there, and you're like, okay, this might be someone that needs to go after. And we saw what happened to their defense in that NFC title game. They got absolutely cooked.
Yep. They need
so they could go after defense here. So you won't get much argument out of me. Number 30, the Buffalo Bills go after Jahdae Barron, the corner from Texas. Hey, I still think that defensive tackle. Hey, Kenneth Grant's not been taken off the board yet. Hell, Walter Nolan's not been taken yet. I think he's only had like one or two defensive. Actually, I think it's one defensive tackle that he's had taken off the board, and that was Mason Graham.
That's
insane. You still have Walter Nolan. You still have Kenneth Grant. You have Derek Harmon. You still have Deion Walker. I think if you're Buffalo Bills and you see someone like that, I think you pounce
on that D-line.
Pounce on that defensive line. And that's in my opinion, though.
No, I 100% agree. Big names.
Number 31, they get Ariante Ursay, the offensive tackle from Minnesota. Hey, listen, I think we all know.
We all know where they're going.
They need it.
They need someone.
They need it. And then number 32.
You know what? This is why I don't like Mel Kiper. You make dumb decisions earlier. You got a guy from UCLA go up that we don't know about name generator. Then you got this guy at 32 to the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. What do they need? They need more defense.
Hope you guys have a wonderful show. It was a wonderful season. The Philadelphia Eagles are going back to back. As TJ here says, they can't keep getting away with this.
Yeah. No.
It's a baby back bullshit.
That's another position. Like, where do the Eagles go after winning it all? They got a great defense. Maybe start going for.
I mean, Josh Sweat is a free agent, so I think an edge rusher. And that's where someone like a James Pierce would come into play. But
jeez, it's just a nice nice pick for the Eagles, man. They're gonna get a great player. That's all I know. If it's Mel Kiper doing this draft, disgusting.
Oh man. Other than that, that's
it.
Hope you guys have a wonderful time. Have a wonderful weekend. This pick has devastated me.
That's insane.
Go Cavs. We're winning it all. At least have a little bit of happiness there.
At least have happiness.
Hey, you guys have great weather.
I could live with that.
Which, by the way, it was warm today here. It was a high of 45.
Wow.
It was warm. If it was 45 where Jared is at, he would think they need to go into a level 3 emergency.
It is 70 right now over here in good old Florida.
Yeah, you lucky bastard. We do get it. Okay, I have to look at this again.
What?
I just saw on my thing that next Wednesday is supposed to be a high of 59 and we're supposed to get snow. How the fuck does that work? How the fuck does that work? Is there a fucking dragon from the god above that's taking a shit on us? Is that the definition of that? What the hell?
Oh man! We're gonna have great weather over here. I'll tell you that much.
I think we should trade.
No, thank you. Thank you for the offer, though. Appreciate it, but I will decline.
I'll throw in some Maker's Mark socks.
No.
And a passport application.
No, I'm good.
And a pack of Sharpie S-Gel pens with one missing.
With one missing. Great. I'm good, though. I think thanks for your offer.
I have the other one right here that I use for work. But other than that, yeah. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Have fun.
Draft show next week, right?
Draft show next week. We will get we'll figure out the times. We'll get that going and ready. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, I got to get into the woodworks and see.
Yeah, listen, I will lie. I have taken like 2 weeks off of because every single night I drafted myself out for a minute. Like I was getting burned out for a minute. So I took a couple weeks off. I needed to. So hopefully this weekend we're going to get back into the grind of watching players, and we're going to get this mock draft going, and then next week's going to be a blast.
Yes, sir.
So till then, hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Have fun. Till then, peace out. Oh, by the way, I never did get to ask you this. We're not going to go just yet because I need to ask you this. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on the Yankees' facial hair thing? Them going away with that.
It's about damn time.
I agree.
It's about damn time.
So fuck the Yankees, but I agree with that. All right, there we go. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Fuck the Magic. I won't say fuck the Knicks because I like your dad.
That's crazy.
But fuck the Knicks. Goodbye, everyone.